I've got a wonderful family, a beautiful wife, and we've been blessed with 13 children. In order to really make this happen, we sold our house, used the equity to invest in the business, got an RV with a truck and a fifth wheel, and we gutted it out and built a whole bunch of bunks in there. The whole family sleeps in the fifth wheel. The walkaway was the magic of this deal, and come back to the training and the systems. I was able to negotiate a walkaway of $37,000, and it was broken up into monthly payments. So it's $450 a month for 7 years. This next deal has the potential to really be a pretty good cash pop if I play my cards right.
Sweet.
And so
is it a wholesale, retail? What is it?
It's going to be retail.
What's your estimated net profit on that?
175. So,
175,000 net profit.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to REI Automated Client Highlights. Today I'm excited to talk to Spencer. He's had some incredible wins since joining us. I know that your story, Spencer, is going to inspire a lot of people. I want to get into it. I want this to be impactful to people who are already in REI Automated, as well as people who are kind of on the fence about joining. So I kind of want to start from the beginning. A lot of people that I talk to before joining REI Automated, you know, they're feeling really stuck. They're feeling really discouraged. They're not closing enough deals. They're spinning their wheels. They're feeling rather overwhelmed, whatever. I want to know, where were you at in your business before coming on? Actually in business, but as well as in life before finding us. What was the biggest thing that was holding you back at the time?
Yeah, so at the time I was busy doing remodeling, just working crazy hours. I didn't have the time of day to really get the deals going. And so when I found your program, it was the perfect blend of, you know, the education and the systems that I needed to be able to get the deal flow going while still doing my day job. So that's what really attracted me to it at the first.
Cool. And let's talk. I want to dive in specific because I know your life. I want to highlight one thing, if it's okay. So you have your day job, you're doing the remodeling and stuff. Can you share with me a little bit about what's unique about the Stradling family on a personal level that would potentially hold somebody back, hinder their success, or make it very, very difficult, an uphill battle, some might say, in order to be successful in the industry?
Yeah, so I'm not just hiking the mountain. I've got a packing mule, you know, behind me, and I've got a wonderful family, a beautiful wife, and we've been blessed with 13 children. So it takes a pretty big nut to crack.
Yes. And dude, humongous props to you. You are absolutely the largest family I personally actually know. And for you to overcome, I have my own struggles, you know my story, overcoming large things in life. Oh my gosh, what an inspiration, bro. 13 children. I can barely wrangle my two. Humongous props to you.
Yeah.
There's a moment in everybody's life, you're going through this struggle. You want the best thing out there for your family, but there's always a moment for each one of us where we decide, like, I need this to be more than just some side hustle. I need a proven system. What prompted you? What pushed you to reach out and say, you know, like, hey, Keith, I want to see if REI Automated is the solution for me? Do you remember if there was a marker in time for you?
Yeah, so I knew that if I were going to make it work, it would need to have the systems in place, and I knew that that I really needed to hit the ground running. And I knew you from before, right?
Yes.
And so as soon as I saw your program, I knew it would be all that I needed it to be. The question was, okay, can we swing it, right?
Yeah. Thank you
Can
for
we make
your
it work?
vote of confidence there. Let's talk about that actually, because REI Automated, it's a pretty penny, and you already said we have a huge nut over here. We've got to feed all these children. I like to I like to say I've got a little fire team, because fire teams in the Marine Corps are four people typically. My dude, you have a squad.
Yeah.
you have 4 fire teams. You have so many people, and so like the reality is REI Automated is expensive for most people. And I just want to address the elephant of the room there. Before, you probably had some doubts about making a large financial commitment like this. What hesitations, what fears did you have at the time? And then most importantly to me, what convinced you to move forward anyway, despite that?
Yeah. So it was definitely an investment. But that's how I looked at it from the very beginning, was an investment. Because I knew I would get back more than what I was putting into it in terms of monetary. I just, as I was looking at what you had to offer, really, unless you're just not showing up at all, your system, what you have to offer, will get anyone to success if they're putting in time, right?
That's right.
Everything's, line itemed. If you're willing to show up and follow the system, it will work. And so I had that sense going into it. It took a little convincing to get my wife on board, right? Because
Yes.
it was an investment, a pretty sizable one for where we were at, especially, but well worth the investment.
Good. Thank you for saying that. That's important for somebody, especially coming from where you're coming from. I mean, we both heard the saying, truth is found in extremes, and you really are on that furthest extreme there when it comes to the commitment and the potential risk. It's like, oh, I'm going to put my family at risk. Well, if your family is just you and your wife, like that's something different than where you and your family is. So how long had you been in real estate? And you even consider the dabbling moments as well lumped in. Prior to coming on board, how long were you active in real estate?
Yeah, really about 3 or 4 years. A deal here and there, a wholesale deal here and there, and just trying to kind of wrestle it after hours, and hustle it. And it, I would have enough success that I would keep trying, but just nothing that could turn the corner, before.
So several years before, and then once you decided to come on board with us, you're going through the education, you're going through the system, you're getting help from Nate and office hours and me. How soon did you see a pickup? How soon did you see a difference? How soon did you start to see, like, okay, we're turning the corner here, even if it was a mindset thing or a clarity thing or operational thing? How soon was it after that you were like, whoa, hey, this is actually a real change?
Yeah, so almost immediately on the mindset, because as I started going through the training modules, it became really obvious really quickly that you had it figured out and that this was something that would work if I put in the time. And that was really powerful for me because now I could be fully invested in it with whatever time I did have.
Yeah.
Knowing that it was going to really pay off. And so the mindset was almost immediately as soon as I started diving into the training. And then it didn't take too long. I think it was a couple of weeks in that I started the marketing and started lead flow. And lead flow, I think, is really important to establish as early on as possible.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get a whole lot of deals initially, but the practice and the application of the training and just the confidence, right? And just learning the mindset of every no is getting me closer to that yes, I think was really key for me.
Sweet. When it comes to our 3 pillars, pillar number 1, education, pillar number 2 is operating systems, and pillar number 3 is support. which one of those three do you think was the most helpful or most meaningful to you and your business?
So the training is superb. It's fantastic. But for me, I had already kind of had an understanding of some of those principles.
Yeah.
And so the systems really kicked in immediately. That was the biggest thing that I was grateful for, and then followed up by the support, right? Because as soon as you start getting deals, now you've got to have the support side. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Beyond those deals, how do you feel like on an emotional level, if you were to do like an emotional audit, how do you feel now compared to before? You were talking about confidence. I don't want to like put words into your mouth, but you're talking about confidence. Is there other things, less stress, bigger goals, whatever, glass ceiling? There's a lot of different things that people have told me. Is there, and if not, don't create something. Is there anything that you feel now that is different than before that is put you in a better spot?
Yeah, so I would say really I feel like there's no limitations outside of my own time. I could literally take this and make it as big as I want to make it with what you've got in place. And that's really kind of liberating, right? Because you're not sitting in the space of, well, am I going to get a deal in the next 6 months? I know if I put the time in, I'll get a deal in the next 30 days, right?
Yeah.
And that's a huge confidence boost to know that, and then to see down the road a little bit how easy it would be with your systems and your training to bring somebody else in to take over.
Yes.
And to start, scaling
the business.
Yep.
Cool. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for you for that to happen. That's the next, natural step progression typically.
Right.
Okay. So you got the system. That was the biggest thing. It sounds like for you was applying the systems in the pillars. That was the most beneficial for you. Now let's actually talk about what you've achieved. The investing world is all about, I like to say, feelings are not facts. Let's make a data-driven decision. Let's look at the numbers. So it's all about real results. Let's talk about a recent win that you are proud of. I know that you have an incredible deal under your belt. Walk me through that step by step. Let's start off with, how did you find it? Was it PPC lead, PPL lead, referral, something else? What was the lead source that you had?
Yeah, it was a PPC lead.
Okay.
And
what were the numbers on it? ARV, more. Oh yeah, no. Where was it geographically?
Yeah, it was in Wichita, Kansas.
Okay, where are you?
Well, Missouri.
Yeah, bouncing around, right?
Bouncing around, yeah.
Where were you at the time?
Missouri.
Okay, and had you ever been in Wichita, Kansas, or invested in Wichita, Kansas?
Never been. I still have never been.
Okay, 100% virtual deal.
Yeah.
Tell me the key numbers: ARV, mortgage, repairs, arrears, walk away.
Yeah. So this one didn't have a mortgage.
Okay.
The ARV, I believed it to be 120,000 at the time of taking it down.
Okay.
And the repairs was about 35,000.
Okay.
Nothing in arrears. And then the walkaway was the magic of this deal. And come back to the training and the systems. I was able to negotiate a walkaway of $37,000. And it was broken up into monthly payments, so it's $450 a month.
Sweet.
For 7 years.
Oh my goodness. Any now money at close?
That's the first payment. I didn't even throw it. I ended up throwing $1,000 at him at
Wow.
at
I didn't
close,
know this.
but it
You
was
beat my personal record,
just the
dude.
450
That
a
is
month.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So 1,000 at close voluntarily, just because you're an awesome person,
Yeah.
and then $400 per month for, you said 7 years?
Yeah, 450 for 7 years.
Dude,
Yeah.
amazing. For 450 per month for 7 years. Okay. And now I noticed your language there. You said at the beginning, I believed the ARV to be 120. You've already sold the house. What do you now in hindsight's always 2020 vision, right? So we
Yeah.
always think the ARV is some certain point. We get into the deal, we do the
Right.
deal. What did it actually end up being?
Okay, so the exit strategy on this was going to be owner finance.
Okay.
So I was going to owner finance it for around 120, and then just cash flow it.
Yeah.
The challenge with this one was that it was in worse condition than I had thought, even after. Um,
Say that one more time. I think the audio cut out.
yeah, even with the inspection, it didn't do justice to the condition
Oh,
of the property. And so I ended up at the last minute having to decide, okay, do I take this down or not? But I was able to take it down
yeah.
because it was $1,000 and
Plus
450 a
closing
month.
costs.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
why not? Why not go
Yeah.
ahead and take
Couple
it down?
$1,000.
So I took it down and then started working on trying to sell it with owner financing,
Okay.
and had it on the market for a while, and it just didn't ever
Didn't move.
didn't
Yeah.
move, and it was primarily because of the condition.
Okay.
So what I ended up doing is hoteling it to another investor,
Okay. Sweet.
and I was only able to sell it for 30,000.
You were
So
only able to sell it for 30,000.
only able to sell it for 30,000.
Okay.
But because I bought it with creative financing,
Yeah.
that worked.
So let me be super clear. They ended up more or less assuming that debt to the seller. Is that correct?
No. So
Tell me about the structure. So you owed the seller 37. They come in and buy it off you for 30. Obviously, you're not going to lose $7,000. So tell me more about that.
Yeah. So the structure of the payment to the seller was a promissory note, not tied to the property. Because he wanted cash flow, and I said, I'm going to turn around and sell this. He's like, I don't care. I just want the cash flow for 7 years. So I sold the property, and now I still have that $450 payment.
Okay.
But I was able to take a cash pop, reinvest it into the business, and keep going that way.
Okay. So all in, your net profit realized in the bank is 25-ish.
Yeah.
How long did you hold on to it?
A couple of months.
Okay, so a couple $1,000 in holding costs, then you have a couple $1,000 in closing costs, the $1,000 that you put up for the seller. Yeah, so maybe 25-ish plus or minus, I don't know, 2.
Yeah.
22, 23, 24, 25, 26, something like that. Cool. And it was a promissory note. So I picked up on that promissory note, not mortgage note. Therefore, you did not need to balloon it out when you sold it to this guy. So you get to keep. That's 100% yours. The unfortunate part about this is if you were to look at it in terms of cash value right now, you're like, that's stupid. Why would you ever do that, Spencer? You took a $7,000 loss. However, a $7,000, well, let's just do it this way. There's 2 ways that you should look at this. One of them is good. One of them is the best. If you were to look at $7,000 divided by, in parentheses, 12 times 7 is what? 84?
Yeah.
So $7,000 divided by 84 months is a loss of $83 per month. is a loss. So you are essentially committing to a $83 subscription. You could think about it as a subscription in order to get $25,000 today. And so long as that investment, that $25,000 investment, produces greater than $83, we're square. Now, you can think about it this way, and this is a good way of looking at it, right? However, a better way of looking at it, I'm going to break it down kind of Barney style for anybody who's listening. Barney style, I shouldn't say that. That's a Marine Corps ism that we would say. Break it down, like make it super easy. The future value of $1,000 is far less than $1,000 present value, right? Because we all know this. Inflation is happening, devaluation of the USD. When our currency is worth less today than it was 10 years ago, this is what we call inflation. And so 7 years from now, that $83 is not actually worth $83 in today's money. It's worth like probably somewhere between 6 and 18, depending on how you do your math, how aggressive you are over those 7 years. What do we think the rate of inflation is going to be? So in all reality, this is absolutely not a loss on the books if you were to take in the future value. If you were to take in the future value, I would say it's pretty good. Cool, dude. That is a very interesting deal structure. Were there any? Well, of course there was. What was the challenge? What was the biggest challenge? Tough negotiation, this financing snag, like what was the challenge? And did anything about REI Automated's methods help you to overcome that?
I think initially the biggest challenge was getting the best deal, right? And I could have gone into that with the mindset that 30,000 cash was a good deal, or 37,000 cash was a good deal, right? And what really made this deal work was having the mindset of well, 37,000 cash or $37,000 over time, right? And just having that ability to look at it from a lot of different angles, and then convince the seller, right, that was a good deal for the seller. And so really that was the first challenge point. And once I had the best deal, I had options. And now I was super disappointed when I found out that it was in rough shape, right? Because I had the best deal, at least the best deal structure, right? Maybe I could have gotten a little lower than 37, but I had the best deal structure. Allowed me to be flexible and have options of how I wanted to take it down and what to do with it.
Let's talk about that really quick, because there's a big difference between getting a really great price and then getting really great price and great terms. So let's just use what is largely known as the wholesaler's formula. You said that the ARV was $120,000. So if we were to do $120,000 times 0.7 equals $84,000. And then we're going to take the $84,000 minus, you said the repairs were 35, is that correct? Minus $35,000 is $49,000. So what most people say is ARV times 0.7 in parentheses minus repairs equals MAO. So MAO, max allowable offer. We don't present offers. However, $49,000 is the highest that we should go. Now, if we're going to wholesale it, we should probably do less than this, right? Otherwise, there's no spread, there's no cut. Not only did you get a great price, $12,000 less on the price, but then you got the most killer terms I think I have ever heard of. $450 per month, plain Jane, with no money down other than the first month's payment. That is outstanding. My hat off to you, sir, for one of the best freaking deal structures I have seen. And ultimately, that's what saved your butt. Let's talk about the reality of what if there was a great price, which everybody is going to agree that $37,000 is a great price, but let's take out the terms.
Right.
Had the terms not been there, would this have worked?
No, it wouldn't have worked. I would have been stuck with the property.
Kill the deal. Absolutely. Cool. If you had to pick what was the biggest learning lesson from this deal? If you had to pick one, what would it be?
I guess the biggest learning lesson is the due diligence side, because
Mm-hmm.
I had the deal, but I really had I tackled the inspection, had a little bit better, maybe even two inspections, I don't know, because the first one just didn't do it justice. But or boots on the ground, something to where I had a better sense going into it before 2 days before closing, right?
Yeah.
um, because I was there 2 days before closing. I had to make a decision on it. Whereas if I had had that information early on, I could have renegotiated, right? I could have
Mm-hmm.
gotten it to a point that I wouldn't even had to lost the 7,000 loss, right? I could have
Yeah.
negotiated it down.
Right.
So
And had time without, I hate negotiating when we're in the last week, like coming down to
yeah,
closing, because it just makes me feel like I'm doing a disservice and beating them up over price.
right,
So I feel like you took the moral high ground. However, had you known 2 weeks prior or 3 weeks prior, it would be more than appropriate to have this conversation. Hey, you did not represent the property in such condition that it
right.
is currently in. Yeah, in the Marine Corps, we have a saying, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And I have been in your position more times than I would care to admit, where it's like, we're rushing. We're at the 5 yard line. We have 2 seconds on the clock. It's like
Right.
we have to make a decision that needs to be made now. We do the best that we can, ultimately, with
Yeah.
the information that we have. However, I think that it's really important. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Don't rush. If we need to, let's put it off an additional week. Let's get some due diligence done. That's a great takeaway.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll show the best part. I'll show the proof later, selfie of the check, a wire screenshot, a HUD, something like that. We'll put it over the video here. Let's talk about the future. What does the future look like from here? So now that you've seen some results here, I know that you're on this path of growth, and you have so much happening on a personal level as well. What is your next big goal now that you got $25,000 in the bank or something close, 22, 25, 28. Where are you going from here? Do you have a big goal? Do you have one written?
Yeah. So reinvesting, right? And putting the money back in. But I've already gotten another deal underway.
Okay.
And so right now my big goals are one deal at a time. And I can't wait to really expand that, because
Yes.
I know there's the potential to expand that. And so this next deal has the potential to really be a pretty good cash pop if I play my cards right. And
Sweet.
so
Is it a wholesale, a retail? What is it?
it's gonna be retail, and it's got quite a few things that need to be done, but none of them are very long.
Okay.
And I think if I stack the contractors on top of each other, I think I can just do a quick turnaround.
Okay. What's your estimated net profit on that?
175. So
175,000 net profit.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude, you can't screw that up.
I mean, I hope not, right?
That is tremendous. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
I'm even more stoked for you. Oh my gosh. Let's ramp this up, bro. That is so cool. So, all right, you're doing your due diligence. Do you feel like you're rushed? You following the checklist?
Following the checklist.
Okay.
And doing the due diligence, getting 3 bids on everything. I'm doing the whole list, right?
Good.
Last time it's like, do I have to do that? And this time it's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, we got to do it.
Keith actually knows what he's talking about here.
Yeah, I know it's redundant to get 3 contractor bids and to build out this scope of work, but it will save your butt. Cool, that is so exciting. $175,000. Like literally, I've had $175,000, and we screwed up royally on it and knocked it down to just over 6 figures. Maybe I think it was about 100 and I don't know, the numbers 113, 116, 118 are kind of all jumping out of you, somewhere around there. And dude, we botched it. So
Right.
you're going to do better than me, because this was, just a couple of years in. I think this was just 3 years into my investing career. I was floundering. I didn't have my footing at all. So you're going to do much better than that. Even worst case scenario. Yeah, I'm stoked for that. How long is that going to take? $175,000 from close to close. How long are you anticipating?
Yeah. So I think I can turn this thing around in a couple of weeks, get it back on the market. The biggest job that it needs is a roof job, but as long as I've got them
take a day,
up,
2 days, maybe
2 days, right? So
where is
some
it?
cosmetics. It's in Blanchard, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And it's
Wow.
a beautiful property, 2008 build, sitting on just under 2.5 acres, and it just has these knick-knack things that need to be done.
Yeah.
But and it's not sellable as is. Otherwise, I would just wholesale it.
Sure.
But as soon as I fix all those small things. Well,
how'd you find really this one? Small. What sort of a lead was this?
So this was a cool one because it was PPC.
Okay.
But this was one of the first leads that I got.
Okay, how long from the time that it came in to the time that you put it under contract?
Yeah, it took I think it was 3 months.
Okay.
Of the automated follow-up.
Yes, right? Baby. That's so exciting.
All of a sudden, I get this text back, right? Hey, I'm ready to talk.
About time.
Yep. So
I my gosh.
Jumped on the call and got it under contract. That day, I think it was under contract.
Boom. Speed to lead. Yeah, it's immediate. Very good. Yep. Okay, so tell me a little bit more seller's motivation, as well as what, dude, $175,000 is a massive amount of spread. How are you able to negotiate such great price on this house?
So this one, he didn't have a mortgage, but he's in financial distress.
Okay.
And so he needs the cash to get out of it.
Okay.
And to reinvest the cash into some things that he's doing. So that was his pain point. He needed cash. Okay. And so I just followed the system. Just asked if he could go lower, and I am, taking on a big risk here. Can you go any lower, right? And just
these are the magic words.
Yep. And follow the script, and he came down to 225 is his walk away. Okay. But it's 425 ARV. Nice. And it needs about 35,000 in repairs. Oh, and my goodness. And that's actually a highball number.
Wow. From the out of curiosity, from the triage call, the lowest number that you got on the triage call, to the perfect presentation after you go through the deal analysis, the numbers in depth, and walk him through all of these costs, did the number change? Did it go down or did it stay the same?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think on the triage call, it was like 300,000.
So already a good deal.
Already a good deal, right?
Yes. So I would be elated with those numbers.
Yeah. Wow. So I just followed the system and the script until he said that, that's really the lowest I could go. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Let me look at some numbers. I'll call you back. And
very good. Yeah. Dude, congrats, Spencer. That is I am stoked right now. Very good. Okay. Lastly, I realize that I'm trying to get through all my questions here. For anybody who is on the fence about signing up for maybe, I don't know if I should do this course or whatever. Maybe they're where you were before. They have some experience. They've had some successes. What would you say to that person who was in your shoes a year ago, a year and a half ago? Is it worth taking the leap? How would you encourage them?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely worth it. No question about that. I think as we look at the different options out there, especially early on, we're looking at the short term way too much. We're looking
Hmm.
way too short, right? Who's going to help me get the first deal the fastest, right? Um, and yours does that, but it does more than that. This is a program you can build really as big a business as you want to within the framework of your systems. And so yes, it's absolutely worth it just to get started. But if you're wanting to make a long-term go of this, hands down, there's no other training out there that has what you have to offer. And the scale option later as companies grow, there's nothing else out there like yours.
Fantastic. Spencer, thank you, bro. I didn't pay him to say any of that. You're fantastic. Thank you for sharing your journey. Thanks for telling us about these two, dude, kick-ass deals. That is so awesome. That's inspiring for me. These are, and for is it okay if we tell them like what your situation is on the travel and home? Is that okay to disclose in a public forum?
Yeah. Okay. So
Hold on. The reason why I want you to share this is for anybody who's like, listen, I'm just like a no BS. I don't really care about your excuse. I'm kind of an a-hole when it comes to this because it's like, I was in the Marine Corps. I was active duty. I'm in 13 freaking countries in a year and I built a business. I don't care what your excuse is. Get over yourself, get some education, get some systems, get some support. I can help you. But dude, I think that you might have me beat. Not only 13 kids is a massive time commitment. It is a massive love, outpouring, teaching, constantly taking care of, my gosh, like, how old is your youngest right now?
they're 17 months. Our twin girls are the youngest, and they're 17 months old.
And basically, you have had like no break in age, correct? And by the way, y'all, these are all biological children, not two families merging together, same wife. Like you guys have had no break. There's always somebody in diapers. So I want you to just put yourself in Spencer's shoes for a moment, but then also how long has it been and what has your travel/living situation?
Yeah. So in order to really make this happen, we sold our house, used the equity to invest in the business, and got an RV with a truck and a fifth wheel, and we gutted it out and built a whole bunch of bunks in there, and the whole family sleeps in the fifth wheel. And we went and we got a place that we stay in Missouri, but in the middle of all of this, we had some family emergencies come up, and so we ended up leaving and being on the road, and ended up being between Utah and Arizona, all during this deal. I was literally traveling back and forth. Had some close family members in Utah, and they were having issues, and we had close, actually, my parents in Arizona that were. One was my mom was. It looked like it was on her deathbed.
Yeah.
And we were spending just a ton of time with family, helping, and then with the children, and then traveling in the RV. And it takes time to travel with the family.
Yes.
And so all of that was happening as I was
A
negotiating this
whirlwind,
deal.
to say the least. Like,
Yeah.
to say it was an absolute storm. It was just chaos erupting in your life on a personal level. And like, there's very little that you can say to somebody as they're going through the thick of it, like you are, that is actually helpful. It might be comforting, it might be nice, but it's like,
Right.
So, dude, humongous props to you going through the storm and chaos of life with extenuating circumstances back to back with extenuating circumstances back to back with even more extenuating circumstances. You, dude, congratulations to your success. You are so deserving of this and so much more. My hat off to you. There are very few people that I say, like, I respect your level of commitment, but you have committed so much disproportionately to most people. Oh, let me dip my toe. No, I'm selling the house and I have 13 children and I'm committing to this even amongst taking care of my family. I am committing to this. I have never seen such amazing commitment to this business. My hat off to you. You deserve so much success, bro. It is so inspiring to see that. So thank you for your faith. Thank you for your confidence. Thank you for your leadership, frankly, in everything that you're doing, both on a personal level as well as a professional level. There's going to be many more deals, bro. We're not going to stop at one six-figure deal.
Yeah. Well, and thank you, Keith, for providing the framework that I needed to be able to keep the business going in the midst of that chaos.
Yeah. It just takes three things. It really, at this point, I've talked to almost 1,000 investors, at least 900. I think that I've broached. I've passed 1,000 investors, and I hear the same three things over and over and over. I need education. I need systems.